way.
Yeah, that was a fantastic play there from Jafar. Some great baiting as well. I mean, both players had 0 meds to work with, and they would have heard each other using them. So Jafar just baits out the scenario, waiting for that desperation play.
इस गेम
He has a
में गाइस
full
ओजी को
sweep on the
खेलना
edge
ही
as
होगा,
well,
बहुत
where he
अच्छे
can
से
swing
खेलना होगा,
wide.
अदरवाइज
So it's really, really smart.
अभी आज जो टीम है वो जरूर कमबैक करेंगे, जो भी नीचे वाला टीम लाइक उल्फ एपीजी हो गया, टीआरएक्स हो गया, वो तो आज कमबैक करेगा ही।
I think losing a player pretty
ओजी
much
को आज
in
बहुत
the
अच्छा
early
करना,
moments of
बहुत
the
अच्छा
map
करना।
each time definitely hurt them, right? They were playing as a 3-man, multiple maps, and they just couldn't get much done from there. But Random Kai usually uses that day one as
ओजी
a
ने
big
बहुत
study
चोक
day.
किया, you know, मतलब
Though I was a little
इतना चोक किया
disappointed in the
लास्ट में,
performance
बहुत
that they
सारे गेम
put up.
ऐसा था कि
I
वो
thought
जीत
they get
सकते
a
थे,
little
ठीक
bit
है,
more than 19
बट
points overall.
बहुत चोक किया
But
उन्होंने।
already Rondo starts fairly decently in a strong central position as well.
I'm liking the little pop-ups on the tower graphic on the right-hand side. I don't know if you've clocked it, guys at home, but if a recall does happen, we saw it just on the Wolves tab there, it will show who has been pulled back up and when it will happen. A little gold flash appears on the right-hand side of your screen, so if you're watching and we're not on board with your favorite team and they're looking to get a recall on board, that's how you keep track of it. You'll see exactly when it happens. So you're nice and up to date with everything.
बट इस टूर्नामेंट में पता नहीं इन लोगों का क्या हो गया।
Just going over towards E Arena right now. Joker was pulled out yesterday for NC2. Learned his lesson apparently. Come back into today looking a lot more fresh. In the initial pick off there onto Wolves. I mean, E Arena didn't play terribly yesterday. I just don't think that they had these massive moments. They were consistently towards like those later portions of the game, but I think it's mistakes like this, right? I think they get step 1, step 2 correct, and then step 3 is where they fall short. I think that when it comes to thinking ahead, they don't really have that right now. Where they make this push, you're playing on the hillside, you're not worried about the backside angle.
थोड़ा आज ना मतलब एक साथ खेलना है होल्ड करके।
It's imperative that you worry
लोग
about that.
लास्ट मोमेंट में जो नेड्स यूज करते हैं ना, वो थोड़ा
towards the south
मतलब
gives a
अच्छे
little
से
bit of a
करना है
favor
आज।
to Regnum Kaya potentially, Orangutan on that southwest side as well. Looking at the teams on the south, though, it's a bit of a difficult run up here for teams like Alpha Gaming, who have got all 4 of their players alive. They did manage to get those recalls on board. And Arena, who are moving very, very close. It's going to be pretty stacked up on this south edge with Kara as well, maybe poking their noses in, and a few teams yet to move as well.
It's been an incredibly odd start for Alpha Gaming. I think that it's hard to say whether it was the correct decision or not. Personally, I don't think it was the initial 4-man split. Like you said, I think you were giving them a lot of credit for what they were attempting to achieve, but I think that that's more coming from the fact that they had such a bad day yesterday. They were feeling very worried coming into today. And then this first 12 minutes has just been about getting a 4-man towards that late game, which is where typically Alpha Gaming does shine, is if they have a 4-man towards that 18-minute mark, they're very good at sweeping. But we just haven't seen that because they've been torn apart by teams like OG yesterday in that final match. I don't think that APG is feeling very confident coming into this day. And unless we get something insane over the next 3 games, I'm not even thinking that APG gets into top 7.
यूटिलिटी कैरी करते हैं ना, बहुत सारे यूटिलिटी कैरी करते हैं लोग।
Gonna have a tough time of it for sure. We'll see if they can bring something to bear in these next 2 days. DXavier, they've spotted at least one of the players from Alpha 7. This is up on the north side, Blank, coming down from around Heme Town on that north east side of things. Alpha 7 struggling to get through. They got the Mad Bulls ahead of them as well. Not only are DXavier going to be harrying them as they try and move forwards, but you're going to have to deal with that too. The recall beacons not long in this game, so opportunities starting to dwindle to get yourself back up to 4 players.
We are really lacking on those recall beacons. The only one still available is probably in Alpha 7's camp over towards Muhapan. I think that potentially Korea's able to pop that one off, but Mad Bulls is set up on a lineup right now. Takes down Guizao and Obscure, so leaving just Korea at the recall beacon to get the rest of his team up. But they will be dropping it with limited supplies. I'm kind of concerned right now for them. 5 elims on the game, it's not terrible. It's not great either though.
See those recalls popping up there. Wolves moving through as managed to get into this position nice and early on the plateau, but will they be able to hold it? The first is good, a double spray down across the way. No, it's a 1-for-1 trade, but Ketch is able to find another. Coops goes down, they lose one on the off angle here. Scarface has been knocked, but the Wolves are no more. Taken away. on the approach. You can't get up the top there. Ulf able to beat out the Wolves on that hold.
So funny, it's the two Wolves logos going at it with one another. You know, the two packs are scrapping in the meantime. Though I think that Max brings up a really good point on the desk is that the Ulf does feel very weird right now to me. Rondo actually was one of their best maps that they played. They were fantastic at it overall. I think for Ulf, there is this issue that I think it is confidence-based because they went from being kind of lackluster when they were playing under the name of Fireflux to suddenly this whole new team with Aaron on board, with Macap out, and then coming to Globals. I was just concerned. I was like, well, this is not the Ulf I'm used to seeing with just incredible long-range control, and especially having such a good time on Rondo. Just was not meant to be yesterday. We'll see if they can pick up that performance.
The Gardens not playing well for DRX. They have a lot of people trying to move into the area. Alpha Gaming actually fairly successfully taking a decent chunk of it. A big nade comes through for Reefers as well. That's going to find two of them, just leaving Soizy down on his last legs here. Last player to stand, and his bridge position fairly known.
S7 का बैट हो रहा है S7 का मारना है तो फिर OG के वो एक्सपो मतलब OG के लिए बहुत अच्छा होगा S7 और INT को मारना
that started the way it did for them, and with two elims they do have a lot of teams that can crest over the ridge lines, take shots at them.
ये PG अब कमबैक कर रहा है आज
recentering up on the circle a little bit now. I mean, Mabel's on the northern side. It's not a terrible spot for them, but they are a little bit exposed right now. Regnum Kyrie playing things slightly slower towards the western edge. You can see here already a nade goes through, able to find good damage over towards Tudika. Likely a knock and a flush comes through off the back of that one, but Tudika is just crawling backwards as fast as he possibly can. OG playing things out smart down towards the southwest side. Just biding their time, and I think that's fair enough considering your VP ahead of you. They can try and cut out any control on the south side. There's no reason to move right now.
Kara.
आरबी को ना बनना है मतलब आर8 बीपी डीएक्स इमेज जिसको बनना है क्योंकि तीनों टीम में प्रॉब्लम देगा ओजी को ना बाद में क्योंकि ओजी अभी जितना पॉइंट पे है हर एक मैच में उन लोगों को 1 पॉइंट क्योंकि चाहिए ही होगा
I think it may just be a crash onto Alpha Gaming spot, but GS are going to move in parallel to that. It's going to be messy in the middle there. A difficult time, I'm sure. DX Xavier, they've moved in from the north side. The Mad Bulls have been leapfrogging with them. And Paragin will be the player to go down, but there's an answer, and it's Regnum Kaya to third party out to the west.
So already 8 points on the game here on Rondo, which is massive news for Regnum Kaya. Starting to catch up to teams at the middle of the pack, and a nice start to the beginning of the day is really huge for a team that struggled yesterday.
That's what you need to be able to find as well at this global level. Finding that resurgence after a bad day, very, very important. Although sometimes you don't have that opportunity, especially when it gets to the smaller numbers of days, smaller numbers of matches that you can play.
4v4 फाइट भी नहीं ले रहा और उन लोगों का गन पावर दिख रहा है कि थोड़ा मतलब ग्लोबल टीम से अगर कंपेयर करेंगे तो थोड़ा बहुत उनका लो है गन पावर
Getting so close to what we expect the bubble to be already in just one of their 3 days. Nice shot will turn up. Silas was picked up, but maybe not for too much longer as he's crawling back behind the deployable cover there. Looking for another res. They are in this zone. Virtus Pro might try and put them out of it though.
You can see their VP looking to try and push further up. These nades are getting very close. There's a good chunk of damage. I think that Regnum Kaya is kind of lucky that they don't lose too much damage on their side because the nades seem to stop a little bit from VP. They want to hold them out for a little bit later in the game there. There's no real chance of getting too much more utility going forward. So you've got to be a bit conservative now going into these final moments. Good shot towards Ulf as well from Regnum Kaya in the midst of all that, by the way. I don't know where that came from.
Silas very close to bleeding out here. Might in fact get flushed. I think he does. Has he gone down? I think he's down entirely there, Blank. It's going to be very close to the wire. It might be just about getting rezzed. Can't quite make it out on the screen there, but
that's a
nasty little turn up. And I think it was actually R8 who did a chunk of damage from that off angle to be able to seal his fate. Oh no.
BB को मारना है
BB को कोई
Yeah, it did come through. I Tanky, though, knows his location. Looks to send some nades over the top. It's a pretty nadeable position, but he has limited sightlines on this with the rock in front of him, but a great nade over the top will take down one player from R8 there. With limited vision as well. It's a great arc on that one.
Brilliant little find, but will he have drawn the ire of too many around him? Mad Bulls feeling the burn as Regnum Kaya roll them down. 2 players fall, and that will be them done and dusted for the match. Regnum Kaya seem to be on the warpath here. 8 elims already. Let's see how much further they can go.
Yeah, I think for Regnum Kaya as well, it's important to consider that when they were playing on this northwest side, they would continue to get knowledge, to get information. Silas is great at that type of thing, alongside with Wild, where they were consistently wrapping out of the vehicles. So they knew sort of what was going on up here. They knew Mad Bulls were a much weakened team, so they wrap upwards. They don't really want to get stuck in that situation alongside with VP, but a nice name from Soez over towards Thundertalk will take down at least one. Doesn't quite have the angle yet to confirm onto it. I don't think Thundertalk really have too many options here.
Yeah, really don't. They're starting to run out.
DRX को मारेगा तो
DRX
को मारना है.
Sighting wants to peek over the top, but you know how dangerous the hump of this bridge is. It's just so easy. He's going to be able to do it though. Not quite connected through the smoke.
एक पोजीशन गया. मुझे आतंकी थोड़ा होल्ड करते हैं.
Will anybody spot it? Regnum Kaya will have heard the shots. They'll be looking. You can guarantee that much. We'll see if they're able to find it. Doesn't look like they will. Maybe a little bit of time for Thundertalk to play with.
दो knock कर दिया.
R8. Joker steps up. He's not going to find it. Another player goes down. A Sakura falls. 30k as well. This hold has just been a blast. A little assist from Ulf on the off angle. But how has he survived that? What a hold on the inside. Don't think it's going to last too much longer, but that is a great little clip for him.
Having a Murray in the wreckage of broken vehicles, but sharp as the scrap metal around him, looks to put a little bit more damage on. Quick Molotov over towards Joker to try and confirm the elimination point and get some more underneath the belt. Has a little bit more to work with. Smokes out front side. Can't believe a Murray lives through that. Mom enough in the distance as well, not likely to even try and attempt to get near him. Throws another Molotov, and that should do the trick. I don't think he got the flush over towards that player, so he's looking to confirm it, but he's already gone.
He's not there. No more. Not a morsel.
Happy ने इसको मार दिया.
Ori though, surviving next to a tanky for orangutan. Both of them hunkering down, trying to lock it in for their teams. Get a couple of placement points on board because we are now into placement point territory.
BP को मारना.
See if Ulf can survive on this push. They were able to defend against the Wolves. But Regnum Kaya might be too tall an order. They've already found a knock. A north side shift does keep the tanky in, but you can imagine that APG are going to be trying to bear down upon him.
आतंकी थोड़ा होल्ड कर जाए. आतंकी थोड़ा होल्ड कर जाए. Top 5 पहुंच जाएगा. थोड़ा होल्ड कर जाए.
That's what we're talking about. Get them into a 4-man position towards the end of the game. That's where they can start sweeping a little bit. But there is consistent angles that are being available here. It's such a rough scenery to play in, where any little mistake in terms of sightlines that you leave are capable for yourself, you're going to take damage from.
BP को मारना है.
Continues
BP को मारना है. BP क्योंकि BP जो है अभी 6 पोजीशन पे है और 42 पे है और उन लोगों का DX उन लोगों का डिफरेंस ज़्यादा नहीं है. ओजी का थोड़ा बहुत 10 पॉइंट का तो मार्जिन लेके चलना ही है. अदरवाइज ओजी का प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा क्योंकि नीचे वाले 4-5 जो टीम है उनका गैप ज़्यादा नहीं है. 2-3 पॉइंट का गैप है.
VirtusPro read that quite nicely. Thundertalker actually managed to get a full reset here.
क्यों गया भाई?
Tanky finally may actually have to stand up and take the fight.
पीछे आना चाहिए था ना.
Doc had the run out as well, and it will be the end. 6th place locked in. 1 elim for Orangutan there. They will not be able to survive into the later portions of this game. Thundertalk make it across, and they will be able to do so with 2 players. They still got a backstop to deal with.
46, 46 और 64
that just came through as a res, so they're up as 4.
Top 7 पे just 4 पॉइंट का गैप है. और अभी नीचे वाला 3 टीम अच्छा खेल रहा है. ओजी ने इतना गेम मैच किया ना है. मतलब ओजी का कल 2 स्कैन तो मिनिमम था.
Straight past the nade there, takes it on the shoulder, and Doc now has to do the impossible.
With only 1 player standing, Doc needs to come up big for them to survive for a longer into this match. Another nade put on top. It's going to keep the pressure on, but the res is going through all this while. In the meantime, over on the northwest side, VirtusPro and Regnum Kaya starting to pop off. And it's Regnum Kaya to hold their nerve. Only 1 knock seen, and nobody's in a position to capitalize because Ulf are more preoccupied on the southeast edge, looking towards Thundertalk as APG fall as well. That is going to be them done and dusted. Rectum Kaya on the north edge, looking to try and get the reset, but there are still shots flying their way.
I mean, for Rectum Kaya, though, it has been a hell of a day for them already. Loxy does go down as he attempted to move further up. This is great management and good control from Ulf right now between two separate squads. They had the higher ground. They're trying to work with it. Smokes are flowing through right now, but you can see 0 nades on the cards for the boys on Rectum Kaya on the top of your screen, but I think that may be a lie. I'm not sure.
टीटी क्या खेल रहा है भाई?
Well, done well. We'll have
यार
to wait and see
मैच
if
तो
they're
हम
able
लोग का
to
मतलब
loose any. Certainly would be a great boon to them.
Ulf's got nothing.
Ulf are completely barren on the old supply cupboard there. Rectum Kaya actually able to clock a shot over towards King, keeping Ulf safe. Scarface might have gone down there with just a little moment longer on that spray from King, but he is denied. Rectum Kaya able to save him. Scarface back up with that first aid kit.
I mean, for Ulf, they are definitely struggling.
नीचे वाला 2 टीम अच्छा खेल गया यूएलएफ एनआरजी.
Scarface playing this close as well is dangerous, but it's necessary. Has to be done to keep Rectum Kaya at bay in the coming future. I mean, Thunder Talk off an insane day yesterday, a pretty difficult crossing for them. I think the most surprising thing about this game is Thunder Talk being on 4 players at this stage of the game. I think they must have been knocked multiple times. And I don't think once used the recall beacon during this match, which is even more impressive. So I think this has been fantastic from Thunder Talk. Now it's a question of whether they can actually close out the game, or will Rectum Kaya sweep through with their 3 players, because crossing this open ground is very difficult. But Thunder Talks have 13 nades to do it, but no smokes, which is the critical factor, which Rectum Kaya, they've got all of them.
They've been hoarding them. It's all or nothing. Ulf have found a nade from somewhere. They've been able to pick one up from a box, but catch. He's going to be dropped down by King, and the 4 players from Thunder Talk trying to take down the off angles from Ulf as Silas actually gets spotted. Nice. He would have gone down if they hadn't have taken King out on that spray. Oh, they're regretting that decision now. Thunder Talk, though, mounting the pressure. Rectum Kai, I think they were up on 12 elims. We'll see if they can get a couple more, because Eren not going to be able to defend in the face of the onslaught from Thunder Talk. Zedwolf breaking out wide, and the 2-piece here for Rectum Kaya needs to be impeccable.
I mean, I don't think it's possible. With all these nades available for Thunder Talk, it is going to be so difficult. You know generally where they're coming from. Thunder Talk looking to take yet another game in their favor. Zedwolf and Wild will have to pull out something extraordinary here if they want to win this one out, but I find it highly doubtful. Wild sending all the way on the side, but them using this little cliff towards their western edge, their advantage. And now it is Wild in this 1v4.
Oh, they isolate it. They all move up. They get 1. Wild looking for the spray. You're right. He's managed to get 2 here. Maybe able to give them the slip. This is the final zone. It closes central. Wild, if he can hold a central position for just long enough, maybe the blue zone will put too much of a hurry up on these reses. Zedwolf does get flushed away, but a 1v4? I just don't think so. Wild looks for more on the angle. King steps up for the challenge, and he's good for it. I thought he might have stepped a little bit too far there, but Rectum Kaya full. It is Thunder Talk to get another chicken dinner. Blank, they're not satisfied.